Hello everyone, must be time for another blog again. It's weeks since I did one, but there's quite a lot gone on. It's just finding the time to do it. You think these aren't going to take very long to do, but they do actually. I get out of the habit of it, that's the problem. Anyway, I want to talk to you tonight about one particular project, and I'm going to show you a bit of film you might have seen before. It's a challenge. You'll see what I mean, but I think it's one we can win. It's not the one I would choose to do for an easy fix, that's for certain, but if it's one I need to create some space, and this is a way of doing it. So let me show you the film. This is when I first introduced you to the project, if you like, and then you can see where my ambition was, and you can decide for yourself whether I'm a lunatic or not. Anyway, here we go. Right, you could call this a hedgerow find, but it wasn't really, because I knew it was here. Timmy, my mate's owned this for quite a few years. It's a super major. It did have a good engine. I'm not sure what it's like now. It's been left to the elements for a long time, so I'm not holding my breath on this one. I bought it for the price where it doesn't really matter whether it goes or not. I'm more interested in the back end, which again looks pretty shabby, but I've got plans for that in the future, which I don't want to reveal now because that'll be in another blog sometime. So it is what you see there, really. It's what you could call pretty damn rough, but we've had worse than that, and we can certainly do something with it. It'll probably be mostly for spares. It will certainly be broken up. I need the front super major tombstone for another project we've got going on. Not sure if the radiator's living or not now, but there's some useful bits on it, and it'll certainly help me get it on, particularly since I've bought this one. Tour of Timmy's hedge. This one's been in the hedge here for a lot of years now, and he's been going to do it up ever since it's been here. And it's a super major. It's as you can see, a yellow one, so it's industrial. It's got industrial hubs, which means it's got one foot brake, and the hubs are in by the back wheel. I may have a problem there because I don't know where you can get the bits, but the interesting thing is it's got a winch on the back, and I think it's okay. I've looked at it, you know, it's a bit flaky rust on there in places, but there's plenty of meat left, you know, it will go. So I should be dragging that one out shortly. Unfortunately, the hydraulic top has been left off for several years. I'm not sure what we're going to find when we get in there. I don't intend changing the back end, so we'll sort it out somehow. You're not going to hurt a major back end anyway if you just fill it full of some oil and give it a spin and then drain it out and clean it 2 or 3 times. It'll soon clean itself up. So there we are. That's a project for the future. Another winch there. That's nothing to do with this, but there we go. Right, that's it. There you are. Anyway, I dragged it out not long after that, and I did take a little film of, not for any particular reason, I wasn't going to do a blog about it then, but anyway, it'll just give you a little taste of what I was up against. I didn't do much speaking on it, purely because I was struck dumb with the quality I was looking at. So have a look and see. It'll confirm whether I'm a lunatic or not, but it's all right. You know, if it was easy, we wouldn't be doing it, would we? So have a look at this. Now those films were taken 2 years ago, easily, 2.5 years ago I expect, and it's been shoved around. I did actually put both tractors in the drive for quite a while. Must have been, they didn't go straight into a shed, but they were put in the dry. And they've been there ever since, and it's only, I've had to do a bit of shuffling around and they've come outside again, and I thought, well, after spending all that time outside and then having a couple of years dry, and with this long dry spell we had, they were never going to be any better. So it was time to get on with it. So we got the winch tractor first. I'll show you another little bit of film. Well, here we are, day 2 with the Super Major, but I haven't spent an awful lot of time on it because I've been to a rally today. Actually, I say I've been there. Colin went, and I took the 2 tractors up there for him. Well, he took one, I took the other, and I went up there this afternoon and picked it up. So the 3000's back. He's got the 135 over at his place. We've still got a little problem with an oil leak, which I don't think is anything very much. Colin thinks it's a complete disaster, but doesn't matter, does it? He's obviously not as used to problems as I am. So there she is, 3000's back. That's a lovely little tractor. So I'm going to get that unloaded in a minute, but I'll just show you progress on the Super Major. Well, I've made progress, but it's a tedious old job. The trouble is there's too much rust got in it, and it's taking the heads off a lot of the bolts. And although there's plenty of head there, there's nothing to span off it. So it's enough to stop you just ripping anything off, but it's not enough to undo it. So there it is. This is the debris. That's the radiator, and that's the little pile of rust and stuff that's dropped off it so far. But it is looking better. So I've got this all off. I took all the pumps off last night. They're much better than I thought. They're all operational. The vacuum pump will have to be taken to pieces to make sure it does work, but it all turns. The injector pump was surprisingly good, and I honestly think that's going to go. The inside of the pump itself is clean and tidy, and I think I can get that going. I did change the vacuum governor on it because the other one, the little pin in the end, had seized up, and I thought I've got a spare one, so there's no point in struggling. I've got the steering wheel off, which I thought was going to be a challenge. Well, it was a challenge, as you can see, but it's off. It was never going to be any good, so I've got to get a new steering wheel. My problem at the moment is undoing these screws. They're all there, they've got the washers on, everything. I don't want to destroy them, which would be the easiest way to do it, but at the moment I can't get in there, so I'm just thinking about that. This top is obviously stuffed, but I think the tank could be all right, but we'll see. Vacuum brake lever there. It's freer. It's not free, but it's freer. So I'll get that sorted out. Not quite sure what this valve does. I haven't got that off yet. Battery carrier and all that stuff is completely knackered, but I've got a spare one, so that's fine. When I was at the rally this afternoon, I happened to run into Giles Morecambe and Steve Davis. Now Giles knows a lot about these winches, so I've suggested he comes and has a look at it and tells me what's missing. It was there, but things like this lever and various controls, I'm not sure what they are. So I'd like him to look at it and just sort that out. So yeah, progress. Wear and tear, as I say, that says this tractor hasn't done very much, and I'm very, very tempted to have a go at that engine. Maybe not now, but You never know. I might do it, you never know. So everything else is there. Not much more to tell you really. It doesn't seem a lot of progress. I've got underneath trying to get the axle pins out. That's the ones under there, because I want to take the axle out. But because it's not worn, they're tight. And there's not very often you can find a tractor that's 50-year-old and the axle pins are still tight. But it's amazing what the trusty hammer will do. So there we go. So that's the progress for now. Day 2, I might do a bit more tonight, we'll see. So that's it. I'll give an update when I get to it. Yeah, so that's made a start on it. You could see progress. I mean, the one thing about when you get it like that, it's, you know, you just got to launch into it, and there's no messing about. You know you've got work to do. But unfortunately, I've got a lot of spares kicking about, and I can make it good, make it work without spending too much money really, and that's not the aim. I don't care what I spend on it, as long as it makes it worth the money. And at the moment, I think making the money, or the best return on the investment, will be to get it going, get everything moving and running, and let somebody else do the final finish. But you know, you never know. I'm still a way off that, and we do get these rushes of blood occasionally, and it might be an interesting project. So we'll see. So that was like day 1. This is another bit of progress. Right, well here we are, day 3 now. Not spent very long on it really. Ian was here, and he's got a few of the awkward bolts out, which I was quite pleased about. I found I had something more interesting to do at the time. I was actually putting a marquee up, but anyway, he's got out all the bolts that I couldn't get at, or couldn't get to, and we had a rush of blood, and we took the head off to have a look and see what the engine was like. And as I suspected, it hasn't done very much. The liners are pretty good. They're a bit rusty, but I'm definitely going to do something with that engine, but not now. Anyway, it's stripped down now pretty well as far as I need it to go. I took all the battery carrier and all that off. I've got the steering box, as I said, is very good, and the tank I think is good. I can't see any pinpricks in it. It looks sound underneath, so I think that'll go. My object next is to take the engine out, and then I'm going to carry that back end outside with the forklift, and I'm going to stand it on its back and wash the back axle out, because there's a lot of crud in there. It's all right, but it's very cruddy. So we'll wash that out, give it a clean up, and although it's got surface rust on it, it's okay. So I've got some old oil and some paraffin, and what we intend doing is putting the plug back in, putting it back together once it's washed out, put some paraffin and oil in there, and just drag it around a bit and see what it does, clean it up a bit. So as long as we can get that going. So that's as far as this one's gone. We've got the donor tractor down here now. And although we haven't started it, we know that engine runs, and we can make that one work satisfactory to see how far that one goes. So I don't know whether to just take the front end off it wholesale and put on it, or whether to mess about with the axle. I suspect I'll just wheel that front axle off it and see where it goes. It does steer, but not the easiest, but enough to get it going, and let's see what's what. We want to do it simple for a minute. So that's where I've got to at the moment, and I don't know what, I might have a go at it tomorrow. The weather isn't very inviting at the moment to be outside, so if I can get it in through there under the crane, I might have a go. Right, I've just found a old video that we did when we started that tractor, so I'll just show you this, but bear in mind that's definitely 2 years ago. I think it was December 21 we did that. So it's it's not quite 2 years ago. But anyway, December 21, that tractor was running. So I'll just show you that, and then a little bonus for you. This one on one, isn't it? This is from the injector. So that'll do for now. I'll do a blog to get this one going. The target is to get that Super Major up and running, not very pretty, but up and running. I want to drive it around the ring at the rally. This is the rally in September, so I've got quite a bit of time, but quite a lot to do with other things. So don't hold your breath, but it will be there one way or another. You have to tow the damn thing, but I think it'll drive. I think it'll be okay. And if we can get a bit of enthusiasm, this is the tractor that Timmy was going to get up to the rally for, well, God knows how many years. If I can find the photographs of Timmy with it when he first had it, I should have a date on it somewhere. He's had it a long time, I know that. Anyway, that's it for now. See you in a minute. Now that final bit brings us up to date really, and I thought I'd release this now. It'll spur me on to do a bit more to it. I've got quite a lot on this weekend because I've got some of you'll know, but I'm in charge of the rally marquees, and we let the marquees out to other rallies to help them out. So I've set it up. I've just put up the 100 by 41. That's at the Merlin Centre in St Austell for a country weekend they're doing, and it helps them because we can do it cheaply, and you know, if we have a good time with it, we might do it for very little, and that'll help the Merlin Centre. So it's all about that. Keeps the marquees out. It's also an insurance. The money that we do get in for it, it's like a buffer for the rally. The rally, it was phenomenally successful last year, and everybody thinks it's going to be repeated this year. And you know, we'll do the best we can, but we had the weather with us, and if you've got the weather with you, you know, you can have a good rally. There's been some cracking rallies this year, and we're probably the last one on the circuit, so the aim is to be the best. I think we did it last year. You know, I'd rather let other people judge it, but we certainly had a good rally. We did what we wanted to do, which was raise money for charity. We strengthened the rally itself. I've got no qualms about doing what we did again last year. We'll do it again this year. You know, we don't want to be the cheapest one around. I know people will say, oh, we can't afford to come in, but you know, there's a lot of things I can't afford to do, and if you want to do it enough, you'll find a way. And as I said last year, if you can't afford it, really can't afford it, I don't want you to miss it. You know, get in touch with me and I'll make sure you can afford it. Generous Dave. Right, I think that's it really. I'll finish on this high note, and hopefully I'll get a lot done. Get a lot done this weekend. We'll see if I can get it running again. Ian, I can't get Ian when I need him, and some of these jobs out there are two-man jobs. There's no doubt about it. It's yeah, you can put an engine in on your own, but it's a hell of a lot easier with two of you. So you know, we'll see what's about. I can probably get the engines out, but lining up and shoving and pushing, I'm getting too old for that now. I have to find an easy way. Hit it with a forklift or my big hammer. That's the boy. Anyway, that's it for now, and see you directly. Cheers.